A very good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for our third online webinar session today. In past, we have two sessions on low-cost innovation in teaching and the use of technology in education. So now the teaching has been over. Now it's a time for the assessment part. Uh, Now, coming to the assessment part, I believe the role of the teachers is not just to teach the kids and transfer the learning skills. The major part lies in the assessment part, to know where the students stand and how far the skill sets has been transferred. So that is very important. And today we have our two wonderful speakers with us to talk about the various dimensions of the student assessment. Now let me welcome the first speaker of the day, Sri Dilip S. He's the National Awardee 2020. At presently, he is an English graduate teacher from Viluppuram district, Tamil Nadu. He had won several awards and recognitions from district level to international level, to say a few from National Award for Innovative Practices from NCRT 2019, National ICT Award for School Teachers in 2013, and he won the Best Paper Presenter Award from Malaya University. He is also a certified educator, MCE and MIE expert, and he had contributed various e-contents, videos for Diksha platform. He had authored several English textbooks from Tamil Nadu School Education Department for the class of 6, 7, and 10th. And he's also a trainer. He trained more than 25,000 teachers in using ICTs. And apart from that, he's also running an NGO called Rural Information Center for Empowerment to promote digital skills amongst rural kids. With this note, I would like to welcome Dilip sir. And before that, let us have a video on him.
ये है गवर्नमेंट हायर सेकेंडरी स्कूल साठिया मंगलम तमिलनाडु के अंग्रेजी शिक्षक श्री एस दिलीप। गेमिफाइड ग्रामर और वर्चुअल गेम के सहारे बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं। इन्होंने AR और VR तकनीक का इस्तेमाल किया है। इस तकनीक से 1 लाख बच्चों को फायदा मिल रहा है। ICT जूनियर क्लब की शुरुआत की। श्री एस दिलीप को बतौर शिक्षक राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया जाता है।
Yeah, please start, sir. Dilip sir.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Thank you, sir. Guru sir, is the screen visible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
Yeah, screen is visible. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Today's topic, when the students get to know the word exam itself, they get to faint. But nowadays, the era had changed, like indirectly we are assessing in our classrooms. We might think that assessment is a boredom part. Not at all. I would say that it is in the hands of the teachers to make it interesting and lively. And I would suggest one thing is that we should not tell them that we are assessing. The very word, if we say we have test tomorrow, they'll get absent or they'll not come to school. This happens. So let us have different kinds of assessments, and let me share some of my classroom practices, how I do. As introduced, I'm Dilip from Viluppuram district, Tamil Nadu. It's nice meeting you all friends virtually during this COVID situation. It was wonderful sessions from all of you. I had learned a lot in my classroom practices, like the low-cost materials which you shared were really awesome, and I would definitely follow it as soon as the school reopens. And this is what I would like to share with you. And evaluation should not be like a fixed one for all the students. We all know that the animal story, which has like same type of testing for all, but it will not happen like one size fits all should not be there. We being the teachers should fix the rubrics for each and every student, and we also should think of all round development of a child, not only in learning, but it can also happen in assessment, I think. I most of the times make my students to enjoy in the classroom. I believe in that when they enjoy, the learning happens. I start with a motivation activity. I call it as energizers. Every time when I go to the classroom, we start with any sort of energizer activity. You can also check some of the energizers from my channel as well. And we can also integrate art and craft with Sajid sir was sharing beautifully about lots of art and craft activity. But being a language teacher as well, I have used lots of art and craft activity in my classroom. You might think that how art and craft in language. Think that when I am doing a cap out of newspaper, I would like to give them the instructions like how do we do this stepwise. This is what real language development is. As well, the students will also follow that, and they'll also write the procedure for creation of some of the origami activities. So this is another activity which we can give in assessment. Like we can divide the students into groups. I generally do this. You can see the partition before the classroom, like this group have planted some corn and this group have planted some groundnuts, and they'll also record that in their chart in languages, which will be an integration of EVS or science into language. So interdisciplinary approach and the evaluation is important, I think, according to my view. And the formative assessment, which is a boon to really a teacher, where we can give lots of project works to students. And these are some of the project works of my students. Like for singular plural, the students have done this. And there is a lesson called Our Winged Friends. I have asked them to collect the feathers and they have made this beautiful. And for grammar, I have given like different types of nouns, and they have created a tree and written like different types of nouns like this. And for tenses, they have created wheels like this, and they have written like different sentence formation. Here you can see pronoun and a beautiful model of a house, and they have placed some toys and they build sentences and they use preposition there. So we can make simple low cost TLM which can act as assessment for formative, and developing or creating clubs for each subjects. If you're a science teacher, creating science clubs in the classroom, and maths clubs and literary clubs. We have inaugurated English. This is the poster which we have used before 3 years. And through these clubs, we also teach them dance, and we can assess their pronunciation through their dance. When they dance for English songs, they'll also murmur and do lyrics out of their own. This will help them improve the pronunciation of the language, I guess. And this is one AR activity. These are low cost and no cost, I could say. You can get the samples online. And if I get another chance, I can also go with 3D and 4D VR. How can we make use of this? And when we are using this, we should get a lesson plan or write a lesson plan before deciding this. When we are using these animals in our classroom, before that, we should give them a hint like you're going to write something about the animal which you are going to view through this 3D application. They'll also, if they are of below level, they'll learn the spellings, then they'll write 1 or 2 sentences out of this. And if we can plan it according to our subject, I guess. And this is what we have seen. And if it is of social science, uh, this is one example. So if you are teaching the planets, and we can show it a real view through this VR, and then we can ask them to tell about the planets and explore about that through online, it's possible, I think. And making use of the computer lab, which is available in our schools. In Tamil Nadu, they have set up like high-tech labs which is of FOSS, where we have the software of Tangram, and I used to make use of the different games which are available, because students are really enjoying the computer games. But we can plan that according to our Tangram is directly related to maths. But when we give instruction, like you can create a duck or a bird like this, and that instruction, and when the students ask us, sir, how to make use of this triangle, like that, there they learn, as they are mother tongue learners, they learn some of the words in English, and this is also possible. And the thing is, like, project based learning can help us in any subject. We used to follow this, like, we'll ask the students to find some of the problems which are there in their community, and they list out the causes, and they'll think of the probable solutions for that, and we'll allow them to go for a field tryout. And when they come out with the results, it is not worth, like, if they fail in their results also, that's good. Swami Vivekananda used to tell always, like, do something better for the society. If you fail also, it's good for the society, he used to say. I used to follow, like, doing something without sitting idle is good for the society. So we'll also kindle the interest among the students to do project based activities. And they have also won two projects, and which was national competition held, like DFC, Design for Change. In that, they have won and visited EDI, Entrepreneurship Development of India. This is the photograph which I have given. I always believe in that assessment is the engine which drives students' learning, which is by John Cavan. And so we should make assessment as an engine for learning. So we know that there are two types of assessment which we are going with, I think most probably in all the states: formative and summative. In formative, the teacher can decide what to do with the students in the classroom. So we can plan the activities, and we can design according to our subject and according to the pulse of our students, and the rubrics which we decide for the learning for the next days, and how can we make them better learn the concepts, finding out the results and everything. And summative, the teacher have less scope. Even then, we can also make that attractive by making students get ready for that through different activities which will prepare for them to the summative assessment. And here I'm going to share some of the online interactive assessment tools which will really help us during this remote learning time and COVID time. Jamboard, which is provided by Google, is an interactive tool for students. When with the teacher, they can interact using this. And Mentimeter is the other one, where you can create polls and share in the WhatsApp groups or any group where we have organized the students, like in a Google Classroom or any platform. We can create surveys and questions and share with the students. And the next is very innovative thing is like clickers, where we can print out the cards. This will be possible only if we have student before us. And there are cards, sample cards, which can be taken print out. There is instrument called clickers, quiz type of thing. It is costly, like 2000 clicker can be of no cost with the printout of this. When the students show the options ABCD, the teacher can scan it through the mobile, and they can get the answers immediately and get the results of all the students, and they can feed the answers, and they can give the results within no time. This is also possible. And I'm going to give demo of 3 platforms. I think most of you might have used 1 or 2 platforms of this, and I'll give 3 platforms quick demo of Quizlet.com, which I had been using for my students to create within no time. When I'm going to school also, within 5 minutes I can create a content, and we'll make use of this in the smart classroom, like interactive whiteboard, and students can learn it. And this is a beautiful self-learning package which you can also make use of during this. And the other application is learningapps.org, and we can create an Android app kind of thing within 5 to 10 minutes. Believe me, I'll show you one example, and you will get all. And you will also learn from the tutorials which are already there with the examples. This is very easy platform where we can create applications without any burden or time wasting. And I'll also give a quick demo of liveworksheets.com, which is also useful for me during this COVID time, where I share the link and students will type and get the results immediately. We don't have any risk of like getting the papers and taking it and making mistakes, manual errors, teacher mood interfering in this, and nothing will be there. It will automatically give the immediate feedback and the results to the students. And the website which I love a lot is games2learnenglish.com, where we have many free games to learn English grammar. I'll also share that if possible. And if you are an English teacher and want to have courses, we have developed as a team of teachers 3 levels and 6 modules are over now. 18 modules are available, including assessments. I'll also show what type of assessments we are having in this. And at last, I would like to share one beautiful wheel. This is like a pedagogy wheel where we have integrated 188 applications. It had been also extended to India. It had been translated to 3 Indian languages. One is Hindi, the other one is Gujarati, other one is Tamil. I have worked for translation of Tamil. Here we have designed like what activities can be given using each of the Android applications or iOS applications. You can also make use of this for your classrooms. These are gathered and arranged in such a way to give activities to our students. With this, let me close the presentation and I'll give a quick demo of 3 platforms. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I'm going to share a platform called Quizlet. I have already told about this. And if you are a new user, you can register yourself with Gmail account or your Facebook ID and you can log in. With this, I have already logged in. And when you log inside, you will click the button called Create. Let's click that Create button. What are you going to do here is you're going to give a title of your lesson. So I'll take solar system as example today. Let me give different examples. Now you're going to learn, let us learn. So I'm taking upper primary or primary examples here. Let us learn the names of planets is the description which I'm giving here. And what you're going to do is you're going to enter term and the definition and add an image. This is what the work of a teacher is. So you can be a teacher of science. You can give a term like first law and the definition of that. Newton's first law, second law, third law, anything, whatever is like applicable for your subject, even economics, accountancy, commerce, or English, maybe noun. What is a noun? Explanation. It's a naming word kind of thing. Now I'll take example like, so first planet, I'll give the name as Mercury, or else we can give Mercury as planet name and the definition as first or the closest planet to the sun or anything you wish, closest to sun. Okay, just you can add the image. Either you can upload an image or search for an image. I'm uploading an image. I'll search for an image. Mercury, if you give, you will get, I'll search for Mercury planet. It is showing us the element as well. So we'll give one example like this, and I'll give the second one as I'll give second. As I want to rush up, I'll give and Earth. See, you're going to do simple activity and you will get automatically generated evaluation out of this. And it is also giving like third planet from the sun or something. It is giving us At the same time, okay, 3. At least we should add 5 to create. So we'll have this, and let us search for the image. Just you can search it here, and you can also give hottest planet or something like that. Jupiter, which is the biggest one. You can also give biggest planet and search for the image. So we'll upload it. So we have given 5, but 8 are there. I'll finish with this. We are following the same thing. After giving this, what should we do? That's ours. And we'll click on create here. So you can add as many quotes as you want. So I'm just clicking the create, and let us check what happens with this. See, we have given just 5 cards, and we can go up to 30 to 50 cards at a time as well. And as soon as we give the term and explanation, it immediately created us different exercises, and it is giving us the link. Let us copy the link, and I'm sharing it with the mate here in the chat window. And you can explore if you want to attempt any of this left side. Like first, the students will be learning with the card. It is a virtual flashcard kind of thing. Say it is showing us Mercury, the name, and when you click at the corner, it will show you the image, and it will also say closest to sun. And we are going to second card. It shows Venus, and when you click at this, it says it whatever you explanation you give, image with the explanation will come like this beautifully. And the third one like this, Earth, the third planet from the sun. This is flashcard kind. And Mars, click at this. This is the fourth planet we have given. Jupiter, the biggest planet. So likewise, we can create, and it automatically generated the flashcards for us. After these flashcards, what are there? Look at the left side. We have automatically generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is beautiful for the students to learn. Like when you click at the learn, so it will give you MCQ of its own. So it is giving fourth planet, and it is showing. And can you tell me the answer? Unmute, and can you tell the answer? Yes, I didn't get, but Mars is the correct one. And what is the answer for this? Yes, correct. Like this, closest to sun, we have it had automatically generated. So let me do it wrong. So for Earth, if I mistake, like if I give Mars, so it will tell you go to this card and read this and come back. This is what the real purpose of doing assessment to the students. If the teacher finds out that diagnostic test, and they should give the remedial teaching, that happens automatically through this. So press any key to continue. So they want to go back and read and come back. This is how this happens. So we'll go to the other one. Let me quit from this. So we have seen flashcards, learn, and let us go with write. So when you go for write, it is replaced by typing. So if they want to type this biggest planet, they'll type like Jupiter, and they'll give click answer. So if it is correct, it will accept. So remaining 4 are there. 1 correct, immediate response is there. I'm going back, just an example, that's it. And when we go for spell, it teaches us spelling. There will be automatic pronunciation as well, which will be generated. And look at this, when you click at this, so is the voice audible, automated voice? So, Venus. So they'll listen to that and they'll type. So this is what Venus is there, and they'll type and enter, and the next one. So you are listening to the next pronunciation. So they should type when whatever they listen. So look at the pronunciation, they can Uh, it's exactly what we want. So I can go back. So it automatically creates the pronunciation as well. And after spelling C, it gives the like 20% finished, 30%. They can also make it tomorrow, like test. And this is what the purpose we were talking about. See, it had automatically created us two to type, which is of writing type, and one MCQ. We have not done anything. And if you want to edit, you can. And true or false, and two true or false are there, one MCQ, and two as typing test. So this is what it automatically generates for us and lessens the burden. But this is useful when we give a planned term and definition for that. And the last one which I like is it also creates games for us, creates games like play, match set. So look at the match, like make everything start game. So this is what the match thing that it had created. What we want to do is we want to drag and drop to it. It will disappear. So fourth planet. So like this, we want to drag and drop. See, beautifully it has created for us. So that's it. We have finished within this, and this is one. And you can also challenge a friend with this. This kind of interesting activities is auto-generated. And we can go to another game called Gravity, and there is another game live also. We can check off, like there are different levels. I'll give, let's start game. And you will be seeing some asteroids falling down. Mercury, we have given first to sun or closest to sun that you want to type before it falls down, or else you get out. So when you type it correct, you will go to the next one, Mercury. So I'm closest to sun. So it disappears now. So next one will come like Venus. So we have given second. So you want to type that. So when they read it correct, they can type it. And this is kind of integrating game to testing. So this is what about Quizlet. And if you have any queries, I'll answer at the end. We'll close the Quizlet and let me go to the next platform which I was talking about. It is learningapps.org. I've told you this is a simple app creation tool where you can easily create. And here also same, you're going to create an account. This is my account. You can click on this create account and you can use this free of cost. All are free apps which I'm sharing, and you're just going to click create app. And these are the 5 things which we are going to do in this. First, let us have an idea. We are going to pick a template, fill in the content, and we are going to save our app and share it with students. That says these 5 steps are there for creation of this. And now I'm going to click create app. Let me click on the first one, matching pairs. You will find examples here itself. You can click on example 1, example 2, and you can check how it works. So we are going to click on create new app. So today I'm going to take here as example of one thing is, let us go with organ systems. One was in social, so I'll go with organ systems. Match the picture with the audio. I'm going to give audio. That too, I'm not going to record my voice. I'm going to give text to speech is possible here. So first, this is the pair. First, you're going to give image. So you can either search or I can take it from the desktop I have. So let us give circulatory system. I'm uploading that image. And you can also give the hint here. And the parallel matching, either you can give text or image or text to speech. We have given circulatory system, I guess. So you can also give hint here if you want. Next, we are going to add another element. Is it excretory or circulatory? Yeah, circulatory. And the next image I'm going to add, I'll give 2 examples, that's it. So we'll go with respiratory system. I'm adding that image, and text to speech is respiratory system. So I'll add third one. So just we'll go with excretory system or digestive system. So I'll give text to speech as digestive system. So you can add as many as you want, and the match can be of anything like text or image. You can even make matching of image with image or text with image or any type. So after this, you're going to give additional but wrong elements. Here I can give other which we have not, like excretory system, and you can also add other wrong answer which we have not given. So one at least giving that will twist and make matching pairs disappear. After this, we can click chords one above the other. You can select alongside one another, and feedback you can change. You have found the solution. Great, you have got it. Anything you want. So if you want to give hints to solve this, you can go with that. And after finishing this, we'll go with finish editing and show this. So your app is now ready. Match the picture with the audio is this what we have given. See now beautifully we have got one additional audio and 3 images. So you can add at least 5 to 6 that will look. So now let us listen to one audio.
Execratory.
It is excretory, and I can match this with this. Okay, let me check.
Respiratory system.
Respiratory
system.
Okay, it's respiratory. So it got done.
Circulatory system.
Yeah, circulatory. So let me go. This is that, I think. So I have matched it.
Execratory.
So you can dispatch that and you can give like this. So it goes like this. So like this, you can make students to do it very interestingly. Thank you so much,
Beautiful,
sir.
beautiful.
Thank you so much, sir. This is very easy to create, and you are now going to save this app. We have taken just 5 minutes to create this. That's it. And now it is saved in My Apps. So you can share this now itself. You will get a web link. You can embed this with your blog. You have a QR code. And one thing is there are different applications which are available here. I'm just showing you one example. Whatever test types we are giving, more than that we have here. I'll also share the link of that here. You can make use of that. So browse apps, go here. You will find different types. See, already created for geography, you can share that as well. So the island, and there are different general, like if you are going for maps, there are already created maps which are available. We can also share that to our students. This is a free and open source platform. We can make use of this without any harm. And let me finish with this learning apps, and I'll show you live worksheets. I'll not take much time. And liveworksheets.com, where you will upload a PDF or a JPG image, and you are going to make it interactive is the interesting thing. I'm going to choose a file which I have made ready because I don't have some sheer time. I'll give one like this. I have made it like plain. You can see I have created this, and I have made the answers plain like this. And I'm selecting one JPG image. I'm just uploading it. Look at the steps here. This is also free platform where you are going to create. This is matching type. Now this is for an English example box, and the plural is blank. You are going to just drag like this. You are giving a blank space, and you are typing the correct answer here. It is recognized by the system. When you are sharing it to your students, only blank will be there. So boxes is there. And I am also typing the right answer here, like tomatoes. And this is candy. So I want to give the right answer like candies. And this is books. This is simple example I am taking. You can follow this and I'll also tell you how to do all this. So we have done all. And when you have completed all typing, what you are going to do is, so you should not do this. So you want to go and tick here. So your worksheet is done now. Yes, I want to share my worksheet with other teachers, or you can keep it private. So give this. So it will take some time to give your link, and you're going to give title, plurals, and language. You are going to select English. School subject, again English. You can create it for any subject. Grade level, I'm giving this is 5th or 6th standard. Main content is singular, plural. Other contents, matching, I'll give. Description is try, matching, singular, plural. Okay. And do you want to share the document as PDF too? Yes, you can give. Embed in website. Yes, save. Age of the worksheet, and please choose worksheet age. We want to select age. Okay, we will give grade as 5. Oh, here it is, age from 9 to 10. I can give and save. That's it. Now your link is visible for you. So I'll share the link as well for you in the chat box. You can also, okay, as my time is running out, I'll try to make it very short. Your worksheet is ready. Open worksheet. So now when you open this, your students will get a blank here and they want to type the answers like this. And immediately as they complete this, they'll get immediate feedback. It will not appear like it is blank now. So I have assumed that I'm student and I have completed the exercise. Give finish. And what you want to get, check answers, and you will get the marks immediately. So how beautifully it gives us the complete marks. If you have done it wrong, it will give you the score. So it is not the work of teachers to correct and give answers. With this, let me complete 3 platforms. Next, I'm going to share you gamifiedgrammar.blogspot, which I was telling you about. We have adopted, like, how can we go with this methodology? And I'm also introducing you to this platform. You can explore of your own as my time is running short. And I was talking about the pedagogy wheel of Indian subcontinent. You can get the wheel from this website, designingoutcomes.com, and make use of any apps which you want for any of the activities. You can get it from here and make use of this applications as well. I was talking about spoken English for all. That is spokenenglishtn.blogspot.com, where you have different kind of assessment. Like, we have given explanatory video followed by activity 1, which is mind activity, writing activity. We assess through audio and video. You will also have a click to take test. If you click this, you will get assessed of your own and you will get immediate feedback. This is what I was talking about, plickers.com. You will also get this is what a demo card, and you can get the score sheets and everything from here. And if time permits, we can go with another session where we'll have detailed explanation about everything. And I'll stop presenting. With this, let me conclude. I have shared some of the activities which we can make use of during this COVID. I would like to thank all the organizers once again for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Especially thank Sir for organizing this kind of useful workshop during this COVID time, as well as we are making use of this during this pandemic as we are in home. Sir, thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity once again. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic, fantastic. Where to go, Dilip? Where to go? Shabash. Thank you. Romba nandri, romba nandri.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. It was very beautiful and nicely demonstrated all the tools like the teachers can learn and emulate in their assessment strategies. Yeah, I mean our time is running up. Now, it's my privilege to welcome our second speaker of the day, Mr. Vidhu P. Nair. He's a national awardee from 2018. Presently, he's a headmaster from NSS LP School, Kapu, from Kerala. I would like to share some of his achievements. He got an innovative Principal of the Year award from Dubai, an outstanding headmaster award in Bangkok, and then outstanding academic leader from the World Education Summit. He had presented various 25 plus research papers in various national universities in India, and then he had developed the various softwares and mobile applications related to the concept of assessment for learning, which are Navaprabha, Gramabani, SPC Connect, Durban, Talent Hunt. And apart from that, he had also taken child-centric short films, like more than 20 short films for the classroom transactions. It is my privilege to welcome you, sir. Yeah. Can we have a video of Vidhu, sir?
Sure.
जिला एर्नाकुलम, प्रदेश केरला, और ये है एनएसएस एलपी स्कूल कापू के हेडमास्टर श्री विधु केपी। दुनिया बहुत तेजी से आगे बढ़ रही है और इसी गति के साथ आगे बढ़ने के लिए बच्चों को सक्षम बनाना यही स्कूल का लक्ष्य है। श्री विधु केपी एक ऐसे शिक्षक हैं जिन्होंने समुदाय को स्कूल के साथ जोड़कर पढ़ाने के अनोखे और असाधारण तरीकों को अपनाया, जैसे कि खेती को छात्रों की पढ़ाई का हिस्सा बनाया, खुद स्कूल में ही फिल्म निर्माण करने का गुट बनाया और कक्षा में आईटी से संबंधित उपकरणों के प्रयोग को आम बात बनाया। शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में इनकी शानदार पहल को सरकार ने सराहा। श्री विधु केपी को बतौर शिक्षक राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया।
This sir, please start, sir.
Yeah, Vidhu, you can.
Thank you, sir. I feel really honored to be here. In fact, seeing this video once again. Yeah, in fact, we were talking about assessment. Dilip sir has detailed different ways of doing assessment in this COVID situation. Maybe if you can do something in COVID situation, you can do it in real classrooms, like in face-to-face programs as well. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. So I will go ahead with the presentation, right? Is the screen viewable now?
No, sir. Please share your screen.
Yeah, it's visible, sir, now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
visible
think
now.
you're able to see a wonderful person on our screen. In fact, my question is, do you know how many marks this great man scored in mathematics in grade 10 final examination? You know, most of us are worried about the marks of grade 10 and grade 12 and the score in the examinations. But can somebody tell me how much this man might have got in mathematics in grade 10 examination? I know most of you won't be able to recollect. Even if you had been told about his marks, you won't remember it because his skills in mathematics are not at all, significant when it comes to the person he's all about. Am I right? I feel that somebody should talk. Okay. I feel lonely here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will go ahead to another person. This person is also very familiar to you. But my question is, how much marks or what marks he might have scored, what score he might have got in biology when he was studying in standard or when he completed his secondary school leaving certificate examination. I know nobody will be bothered about these type of, biology marks and all once you think about APJ Abdul Kalam, whose contributions were entirely different from what you have seen in biology classes. So his marks are not relevant then in biology. His biology marks are not relevant. Or I don't think that his mathematics or science marks, these marks are also not relevant because his contributions were much bigger than what biology and chemistry and physics and all such things, or even in English. These things were, in classroom, you might have celebrated all these marks, but once you come back to his person as APJ Abdul Kalam, his contributions have nothing to do with the marks he got in standard 10 or 12. I'll go ahead a little bit further. You can see a person who is batting, and this fellow, can somebody, guess who is batting there?
Dhoni.
In fact, he is Rohit Sharma. This fellow is a very typical character. He comes to the crease to bats for almost 5-10 minutes. He will he'll be pondering somewhere in the off stump, and then once he's set after some 10-15 balls, it is very difficult for you to get him out. And once he crosses his 40 or 41, 42, then he will go blindly and loft the balls over the long one for 6. Maybe he will cross bat it for a hook for another 6. And if you watch it closely, you can see that this man is working out the basics of trigonometry in mathematics. Maybe if he had learned it in his school. You know that if you want to loft a ball, you need to loft it at the angle of 45 degrees. And you know that tan 45 is equal to 1. Without making all these formulae or without making all these concepts audible by itself, he does what he does. He applies all these things in his in his batting, and that is why we celebrate him. Maybe he is going to be the next captain of India. Who knows? But the thing is that what score he might have got in trigonometry in standard 12 or 10. No idea. Because once you think about his batting, his performance, his marks are irrelevant. I'll go a little bit ahead. You can see 2 people on the screen here, one on the top and one at the bottom. Can you guess who these people are? Someone, please.
Yeah, Raphij and Einstein.
This one is, the person at the top is Albert
Einstein.
And the person who is at the
Mohammad Rafi.
bottom is
Mohammad Rafi.
Yeah, Mohammad Rafi. Yeah. Mohammad Rafi is a wonderful singer. He has sung almost more than 1 lakh songs in Hindi and in different languages. One of the most celebrated, singers of India ever. And you are going to give a music test for these 2 people. You are going to give a music test for Albert Einstein and Mohammad Rafi. Whom do you think would score better? Any idea?
That's Mohammad Rafi, obvious.
Yeah, obviously it will be Mohammad Rafi according to you, but still, we'll see. If you look back to Albert Einstein, one day once his girlfriend told, it seems, that this lady fell in love with Albert Einstein while she was listening to him playing Mozart on violin. Albert Einstein was a wonderful violinist. In fact. He used to play, yeah, he used to play Mozart on violin. In fact, Mozart was his very famous favorite, musician. So he used to play Mozart over and again on violin. And in fact, his girlfriend fell in love with Albert Einstein listening to his playing violin. Now, who will, oh no, who will get better marks? Mohammad Rafi or Albert Einstein? If you can impress a girl to be your girlfriend. Yeah, we'll go a little bit ahead. Albert Einstein made a theory of gravitational force, which is translated into a form of sound waves. The gravitational waves were transformed into sound waves, and this theory was propounded by Albert Einstein. Sound waves and gravitational waves. Syncing gravitation and sound. Playing Mozart on violin. Winning hearts of girls. Problem. Now, difficult to give marks for Mohammad Rafi more because Einstein has walked a long, long way ahead of Mohammad Rafi when it comes to life. Mohammad Rafi was a born singer, no problem. We will give marks, but still, for Albert Einstein, he has taken the concept of music to a different level. And that's why we are in confusion now whether to give more marks to Einstein or Mohammad Rafi. No, it's okay. That confusion is the best thing what you can have in life. I'll go a little bit ahead. My question again. Nobody likes to have examinations, neither the teachers nor the children. Still, why do we have these stupid examinations? Nobody wants to have examinations. Then why do we want to have examinations? If you ask somebody who is studying in a training college, they may say an examination is for making the child know where he is standing in the learning process, to make the teacher understand how well his plan has worked out, to make the parent understand where his child is standing or what he has learned and what he has not learned. These are the general things. Again, for curriculum experts, is the curriculum working? Is the curriculum serving what exactly the objectives cited above has envisaged to? These type of things are where examinations are working on. But still, my next question. Like when Dilip sir was showing us, this application, he was telling somebody got 10 out of 10. It's okay. 78 out of 100 in science. What does it mean? You are teaching in standard 10, and you are giving one child is telling, I got 78 out of 100 in science. What does it mean in fact? Can you say how much? What is the exact thing he knows and what exactly he doesn't know about science? Think about a situation that somebody got 100 out of 100 in English. 100 out of 100 means absolute. Did you assess all the things about, like listening, speaking, reading, writing, all this? Did you evaluate all those things to give him 100 out of 100? If you are giving someone 100 out of 100, definitely you need to say that, okay, you are absolute. There is nothing more for you to learn according to your age or your class. There is some problem in giving marks. Some people may advocate for grades. Okay, you got C+, you got B+, you got A+, you got A. What does it mean? After the examination, if you give a result, the result should identify what exactly the child has learned, what exactly the child has not learned. See, this type of marks and grades do not give any type of reflection of what the child is all about. Are our examinations failing? And Now I am worried. So our examination is what fails, not the children. Now we'll go ahead. See, do marks tell us what the child knows and what the child doesn't know? No. Do the grades tell what the child knows and what the child doesn't know? No. Problem. Again, why do teachers fail to ensure learning? It is simply because teachers do not understand what the children has not learned. The teacher comes to class. She is teaching from morning to evening in different sections, like in machine sometimes. And she takes for granted that some people have understood what I have said, some people have not. But who has not understood? Who has not, attended? Who has got it? Who has not got it? See, this type of things are. These are the things what the teacher thinks about when it comes to formative assessment. But what is formative assessment? Does the formative assessment give a reflection of the development that has happened in this classroom because of the behavioral change that has happened in the classroom because of the teaching? Problem. We do not know. We'll go ahead. You have written an examination in Standard 10. Okay? Standard 10 examination. After 30 or 40 days, the result will come. By the time the result comes, the students might have forgotten whatever has happened during the examination. Even this 1.5 or 2 hours examination itself is a very difficult, span of time to get over. And during this time, something will happen and the children will see the question and write and, try to bombard the paper and make it a stuff to score marks. But once you finish it, everything will be forgotten. And after 1.5 months, you are going to give the result. And that is 78 out of 100. Ooh, problem. Because the child never, remember what exactly was the question, what did he write, and you are giving a result. There is no immediate feedback. And what is feedback then? Is this mark a feedback? Is the grade a feedback you give for the examination? If you are giving a feedback, then the child should understand exactly what has happened, what error he has made, what exactly he has to go forward with, what exactly he has acquired. This type of feedback is not there when you give marks. Then why should you give marks? Why should you give a feedback which is not relevant? Okay, we'll go ahead. Yeah, as I said, if you are giving a feedback, that should happen soon after the examination, soon after the assessment schedule. If you are giving it after 1.5 months, it is irrelevant. We'll go ahead. Here I am going to show you a small software. Before I show you the software, in fact, this software is not a great thing. The idea behind the software is little bit, I feel it is much relevant in this situation. Before that, let me stop presenting before I go into the software. We will see face to face. Yeah. Now my question is, you are a science teacher. You are a science teacher in standard 10 or 9 or 8 or 7, 6, anywhere. What do you want the children to have if you are a science teacher? You are talking about solar system, you are talking about Newton's laws of motion, you are talking about thermodynamics, you are talking about states of matter, a lot of things. What exactly you want the children to have as a science teacher? Again, in English, you are teaching, grammar, poems, stories, many things are there. What exactly you want to have as an English teacher, as a language teacher? Leave English. What is the curriculum? What does the curriculum say? Or what does the curriculum envisage from a science teacher? A teacher is a curriculum, adapter, a curriculum presenter. and the curriculum is already set. The curriculum has its own objectives and aims. Has any curriculum told you that by the end of the curriculum, by the end of the learning program of standard 10, the children should be able to list the planets from top to bottom, will be able to identify the 3 or 4 states of matter, its peculiarities, its specialities, will be able to write the Newton's laws. These things are never seen in a curriculum, because curriculum is always about a bigger vision. If you are a science teacher, the curriculum wants you to develop scientific temperament. Scientific temperament. Which examination has tested scientific temperament of students? I have written almost 1,000 examinations in life. I have never been tested. Even I have studied engineering for 1 year. I have never been tested about my scientific temperament. If you ask me Newton's laws of motion, I will say like this. Every body continues in state of rest or of uniform motion like state unless it is compelled by external force to change the state. I write very fast. Okay, 100 out of 100. Where is my scientific temperament? No idea. Then what exactly should happen in a science classroom if that is the case? Yeah, you need, if you are a teacher, you need to make the children observe. From observation, you need to make the children compare what you have observed. So observation, comparison, classification, analysis, synthesis, application. Maybe when you apply it, you may see that, okay, my analysis is wrong. I'll go back to observation again, then comparison, classification, analysis. See, this process of learning science, this process of life is all that you want in a science classroom. Does anybody test all these things in an examination? My answer is no. I know most of you would agree with me, because most of the times we try to, okay, sometimes some teachers, there are application level questions. Application level question. Where is the application level question? I'll give you an example. You might have heard about Charles Law. Charles Law. In Charles Law, what does Charles Law say? Yeah, if temperature increases, pressure. Someone please help. If if volume increases, what will happen? Pressure? Oh God. Someone please. If volume increases, pressure?
We studied for the exam and we forgot it.
It's okay, no problem. If volume is decreasing, pressure will. Oh God. If volume is decreasing, pressure will increase, isn't it? Think about a pressure cooker. When pressure is increasing, volume is decreasing. That means, yeah, volume and pressure are inversely proportional. Everybody knows that. Now the problem is, I am going to blow a balloon. See, balloon is blowing, volume is increasing, pressure is also decreasing or increasing? Oh God. No problem. I'm not confusing anybody. The thing is, you ask application type of questions and you want answers. You have some theories and you make people think of it and you answer. But the problem is, there is no observation, there is no comparison, there is no classification, there is no analysis, there is no synthesis. You straightly target on application problem. Many people can answer application level questions without doing all this normal process of life, normal process of learning science. There is a problem. If you are not good in observation, definitely you are not a good science learner. If you are not able to relate or compare the classified, the observed facts, you are not a good science learner. If you are not able to classify the things according to your comparison, you are not a good science learner. If you are not able to analyze according to the classification, you are not a good science learner. If you are not able to synthesize things from the analysis, you are not a good science learner. See, none of these are being tested. And you say you got 78 out of 100, 100 out of 100, 90 out of 100. Problem. Because you are disremembering the curricular aspect, the curricular what the curricular objectives, in fact. That is why we have many children around who got very good marks in science, in English, in many other things. Unfortunately, when it comes to life, they falter. They fall down. Very difficult for them to get them back to their heels because, see, the learning process, what they had gone through, is absolutely irrelevant. Now, who is responsible for that? Teacher? Curriculum? I'm not sure, okay. It is controversial, but still now I will show you one small software. This software is not the end of the life, okay, but it is just to show how it works, how a teacher should, a teacher can do in a classroom in order to assess the child according to the process. Okay, here I go, present now. Okay. A tab. I'm going to write, this is an examination for standard 4, okay, in my school. My school is a very small school, standards 1 to 4. Some wonderful children are there, and some stupid teachers like me are there. Here I go. My name is Mithu. This is my school, okay. I'm going to choose, choose what? Class 2, okay. Class 2 I'll start. Yeah. It will take a small time to pick up because of this, sharing of network. It's taking too much time. No problem, it will take time. The thing is, at the end of this, you will get, we will test the children according to observation, comparison, classification, analysis, synthesis, like that. That is what I wanted to say because of this network problem. Maybe, if it was the only thing I need to work out, it would have been, displayed. It's okay. Where is that? Okay. Yeah, I am back here. And at the end of this examination, you will get one report. A report like, you have observed, your observation was like this, your comparison was like this, and you could not analyze it properly. For that, you need to do like this, do like that. See, it gives a detailed qualitative report of what the child has learned in the classroom. There is no marks, there is no grade. But it tells you what exactly you have gained. I can do one thing after this. I'll give you the link of the examination in the chat box. You can work it on. It's not a big thing, but it's a small thing for a small school, for a small group of students. But still, it will tell you how to go along assessing a process, the process of observation, comparison, classification. And at the end, when you finish the last question, when you press the enter key, you will get a PDF document where the document will tell you what exactly you know according to the process, in the background of the process, okay, not the product. Product is available on internet. Process is not there on internet. If you want to be a good science learner, definitely you need to have you need to think about the process, not the product, because all the products are available on internet. For example, if you want to know what is Newton's third law, it is there on internet. You need not study it by heart. If you want to know what is, Charles' law or Boyle's law or any law of thermodynamics, it's all available on internet. You need not ask the children to write all those nonsense. Only thing is that if you want, okay, for example, some people say V is equal to U plus AT. Dynamics. Final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus, initial velocity plus acceleration into time. What is acceleration? What is time? And the question is, you have given V, you have given U, you have given T, you find A. Is it physics or is it mathematics? You are trying to ask the children to, solve a formula, which is mathematical in itself, and you need to give the values to V, U, A, and find T. Very simple. Because, the idea of physics is not all these things, but still you ask them to do, you give full marks for them. See, in life, they don't know physics. In life, they are not able to pick up the scientific temperament because the problem is you were targeting the products. And your assessment schedule also was targeting the products. In fact, if you want to make the children learn properly, if you want the children to gain scientific temperament, if you want to have the children with linguistic skills, you need to test the skills. The skills are, this type of formulae and this type of the definitions and the explanation, all these things are irrelevant because these are not what the subject needs. This is not what the curriculum needs. Okay, as a tool of, as a tool for developing all these skills, you can talk about all sorts of, laws in physics. You can tell them stories, you can make them read stories. Okay, but these are all tools. You cannot test the tool for learning. So you cannot use the tool for learning as a tool for assessment, because assessment is all about checking the process, not the product. Okay, that is what I wanted to put across. So this type, now I will tell you how to make the software. That is also very important. It's not a big thing. It's not a big invention or discovery. You are going to, for example, you are going to teach children you are going to assess children whether they know how to add 2-digit numbers. 2-digit numbers, very simple. You are giving a question, 11 plus 1, 11 plus 11. Both are 2-digit numbers. What happens if you give them to add 11 plus 11? 1 plus 1, 2. 1 plus 1, 2. Are they adding 2-digit numbers now? 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 1 is 2. This is not a 2-digit number they are adding, but okay, but 11 plus 11 is 22. You give them one score, or you place them in one level. Now you give the next question. 19 plus 18. Then you have to add 9 and 8. You have to carry the remainder from the unit place to at the 10th place. It is not as simple as 11 plus 11. Okay, there is the remainder happening in the unit place. You go a little bit further. 99 plus 92. You have got a remainder problem in the 10th place and the unit place. No more confusion. Okay. Now, if you write 99 plus 92 perfectly, if you can, add it, you think that, okay, your child has good mathematical skills. But in life, okay, how do you add 1,324 and 2,426? You add thousands first, isn't it? You add 3,000 and 2,000, keep it apart. Then you add hundreds, keep it apart. You add tens, keep it apart. You add units, keep it apart. If there is any remainder, you will adjust all those things in your brain, and okay, without any pen and paper, you can do all these things. In life, you are trying to connect it from left to right. In classroom, you are trying to do it from right to left. What's happening? Is there any two different ways in life and in classroom? Here is the problem of process. The process of learning is more important, and the process is natural in itself. Unfortunately, all our targets are on the product itself. If you make an error somewhere, it's not a big issue, because if you are focusing on process, there is every possibility that you fail here and there. And you have to go back to the basics again, and you have to build it up from there. Okay. So what I wanted to say is that let us focus. Let us make the shift from the product to process. If you are able to strengthen the process through assessment, if you are able to assess the process in the most scientific ways, in the most natural ways, definitely our children are going to do wonders. Otherwise, I don't know, our children are going to be, stupids like me. I got even rank in my academics once. Unfortunately, these ranks are, what exactly I am now. My skills are very, very limited. It is because always I used to get, enriched in product, not in the process. Now, if I want to get back to normalcy, I should start from the beginning, because I lost the process somewhere in my life. Our children should not have this problem. Let our children, build their process skills. In English, you give 100 out of 100 for what? You have tested only writing or reading. What about their listening and speaking? English is all about listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You are not evaluated. On a normal classroom platform, examination platform, you are not able to assess the skills like speaking and listening. And you have done only 50% assessment, and you are giving 100 out of 100. Problem. So let us focus on the skills. Let us focus on the 21st century skills like communication, innovation, all those things. If our children want to innovate something in classrooms or in life, let them be fostered on their process skills. And if you want to have the process skills in classroom, definitely you need to introduce it in the assessment part first, because most of the teachers in this world, their Bible is the question paper of last year. The Bible of teacher is the question paper of the last examination. Now, then definitely the examination should change. The way you test should change. Anyhow, I have prepared a software on how to assess the process skills and how to give immediate feedback after the examination. I can share the link in the chat box. I wish all of you go through it, and it's not a perfect thing. It's just a trial. But I welcome all type of the comments on that, and I can work on it better to do it better. In fact, this examination has been revised in our school for 4 years, and this tool has been I have innovated this tool several times, and it's like that. It's not a big thing, but still I will just show you how it works. You can see how it works. Clicking on the link in the chat box. That's also over to you, because I have taken a long time. I think, in fact, now people must be feeling bored, because 4:32, it's almost 6. This is too much. The attention span of people are very less, I feel. So over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your insights, sir. And then you have thrown a wonderful perspective. I believe, all the teachers, can think about this. Like, we can take a pause. Like, what we are teaching, like even during this Corona time. So we were more concerned about the teaching. We were more concerned about the process of how we can to bring the process of engagement among the kids. So it is very useful, sir. Very thankful for that. Now over to Director sir for his vote of thanks.
Thank you, Guru. Thanks for the wonderful organizing things. And it's been a wonderful day today. Thank you so much, Dilip sir and Vidhu, for making this cold winter evening bright and shiny with your beautiful presentations over there. and I must thank both of you. In fact, I've been transported to my school days, and I was just wondering, oh, if only I had teachers like these. Oh, I would have been a better human being, a better person. But notwithstanding that, I'm so glad that the kids in your schools are in very safe hands and very compassionate hands and competent hands. And if only we had more such teachers in this country, we're going to have a wonderful time for the children of this country. Okay, with all that empathy and with all those tools that you've been talking about. And I'm very glad that our kiddos, Guru, Aruja, and Juhi had organized this. They're continuing the tradition of having a good series of webinars. Thank you so much for the team that has organized this, and I thank all the people who have joined this webinar, even though it's a weekend day. Thank you all of you for having joined here, and please do carry home some wonderful stuff that these two leaders have shared with us, and put it into action, because ultimately the proof of the pudding is in eating. So the proof of the tools are in using in your schools with your children. Oh, I'm very glad. I'm really, really, very happy that some very pertinent questions have been asked by Vidhu. Okay, and these are the real questions a rebel is supposed to ask. And the rebel in Vidhu had asked these questions. Let us not stop here. Let us find some solutions. Let us actually implement the solutions on the ground and make this country and the world a better place by treating our children with real good care and compassion. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Yeah.
Thanks, Niels. Thanks a lot.